Hello, the internet, and welcome back to another episode of the Kickball podcast. This
Hello,
is our
everyone.
third episode, and it is our Super Bowl special because the Super Bowl is happening. So we are going to talk some playoff football. We're going to talk less playoff football than we were because the Stafford Goff trade happened. So we're going to talk about that, and then at the end of the episode, we're going to make some very important predictions about the Super Bowl and also see if we can guess who can win.
Yeah, like especially Gatorade color.
Exactly. The most important prediction of the Super Bowl.
Yes.
There's going to be a high tally on red because there's red on both sides.
We'll see which one is in the lead when we get into it, but there are some odds in favor.
That is, all of that is to come, but we are going to start way back in the wild card round with the sort of the one game that we all have the most to talk about. Yeah, that sounds smart. Which is Browns Steelers.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just start with the first play of the game. Fumble.
Yeah, not a great way to start a football game, if we're honest.
Nope.
That
game was competitive until it started.
I think so, probably, yeah.
Yeah. And we got 2 touchdowns from Kareem Hunt. We got 3 touchdowns from Baker Mayfield. Went front to 3 different guys, including Nick Chubb. The defense, at least for the first half, was phenomenal. And then Pittsburgh just seemed lost.
I think it was this thing that everyone was saying all year, which was the Steelers aren't as good as they look.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were undefeated for so long, and then the first time they played an actual opponent, they lost, which was I guess the Buffalo game, right?
And didn't they lose like 7 straight games going into the playoffs? Something like that.
No, they started 11-0 and then went 1-4 to finish off the regular season, and then lost their playoff game.
Yeah,
and I think I remember people saying like it was the most. Even when they were 11-0, it was the least convincing 11-0 of all time.
Yeah, I remember people saying it's like the least convincing undefeated team in the league because they hadn't played any really tough opposition that undefeated run, had they? I think they had a Ravens game and a Browns game.
They had a Ravens game, but that was like when that was that Wednesday game when the Ravens had COVID.
Oh, right. Yeah, when half the Ravens were out.
Yeah. So like if we just go through their schedule and be like how they did, they started with at the Giants. And then they had Denver, Houston, Philly. They destroyed Cleveland in week 6 after their bye week.
Cleveland was the first. Cleveland's the first team they played that finished over 500.
Yeah. And then Tennessee, they won by 3. They had the game they probably could have lost. No, sorry, that's not the right Baltimore. They had the first Baltimore game they won on the road by 4. They beat Dallas. They beat Cincy and Jacksonville. And then they had the questionable game against Baltimore that was a short-staffed Baltimore team, had RG3 playing because Lamar Jackson was out. And then they won a skate where they lost to Washington at home on short rest because they go from Wednesday to Monday. And then they have Buffalo, lost on the road, lost to Cincinnati. They had a sneaky win against Indianapolis, and then they lost again to Cleveland. And then last time.
And that Cincy loss was bad too.
Yeah. So like that was something that was notable.
Is Ben Roethlisberger getting old?
Well,
is he aging out of the game
forever?
I don't think he's done.
Yeah, I don't think he's done either.
I think he's out of that tier of being the top guy.
Yeah, I think he's merely a mediocre quarterback at this point.
So if you go to the last 4 games of their season, because he did not play week 17, he had his 2 worst completion percentage games, Buffalo 56% and Cincinnati 53%. And he only had 2 games with at least 1 interception heading into week 12, and then had an interception of 4 in 4 of his last 5 games.
Yeah, that's not great. I know people were saying Pittsburgh didn't really have a rushing attack this season, and it's true they didn't. But also, when your quarterback is playing like that, it's not helping.
Yeah, And then I'm going to give them a slight benefit of the doubt because when you're playing by so far behind so early, you're going to need a passing attack right away.
Oh, yeah.
68 pass attempts for Roethlisberger in the playoff game against Cleveland, 4 interceptions.
I mean, 2 of those interceptions were really early in the game, though, right?
Yeah, that's what gave him such a big deficit.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have to start forcing some throws you don't want to take as well.
Yeah, as much as you can give him the benefit of the doubt for probably those last 2 picks, like the first 2 picks weren't good.
No.
And yeah, you not at the point where you really need to be gunslinging at that early.
He made Baker Mayfield look like an all-pro.
Yeah,
He made Baker Mayfield look conservative.
The Steelers, they're the very quietest 11-0 team, like you said. But can we just state the fact that the Browns are just good now? They're no longer the 0-16 joke in the NFL Browns. They're legitimately here to stay with Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb. They have some legitimately
I was going to give a shout
players.
out to Henry's favorite Cleveland Browns, Sione Takitaki.
Oh yeah, Sione Takitaki.
Former BYU Cougar.
Oh my gosh.
Are
the Browns okay? Hold on. No, legitimate question. Are the Browns actually here to stay though, or was this just a good year?
I think they had a good year, and I think they're going to stay at least as a playoff contender. I don't think they're yet Super Bowl ready.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Offensively, I think they're relatively complete. I'm still not convinced Baker Mayfield is the quarterback that can take them over the top. And I think the defense has pieces, but they aren't also complete.
I think Baker Mayfield has matured considerably since his days in Oklahoma. He seems like he's really come into his own this year and has become a legitimate quarterback. I mean, he's nowhere near in the tier of Brady and Mahomes, but
yeah.
he's good.
The question is could he lead an offense against Buffalo's defense in the playoffs like Mahomes did? And then also, can he beat Mahomes? And he did the first one. He can prove that he could beat Buffalo because they played them earlier in the year.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they're there yet, but
yeah.
When was the last time the Browns made the Super Bowl? Was that back in the Jim Brown days?
This specific Browns, technically never, because they were an expansion team. Technically, the Browns, you're thinking of the past are the Ravens now.
I was gonna say, I think
the Colts are Ravens.
Yeah. I think the last time the Browns made the Super Bowl was technically 2012 because the Ravens were good.
Yeah.
Technically, what's that supposed to mean?
It's like the argument
the current Ravens are the
Charlotte
old Browns.
Hornets. The Pelicans are the Hornets.
I'm pretty sure the Baltimore Ravens.
All right, hold on. No. This is a bad idea. Nope. I shouldn't have said this. Is getting us distracted. Hold on.
You confused me.
Yeah, we've confused Henry. Let's just talk about football.
And on this version of Henry doesn't get the joke.
This wasn't even a joke.
It wasn't a joke, but okay. Can I redirect our focus back to storylines from the playoffs, specifically Steelers Browns, please?
No, absolutely not. Yes, go ahead.
Because I think it is time to stop talking about the actual game and start talking about what everyone in the media freaked out about following the game, and what they'd been freaking out about all season, which is Juju and Chase Claypool dancing and being active on social media.
Yeah. I think no one would have cared had they won.
Yeah. I mean, they said, didn't Claypool say it doesn't matter because they're going to get smacked next week? I remember that. I think he said that, but
yeah.
Also, that's just the dumbest thing in the world to say after a loss, because it's oh yeah, the team we lost to is going to get smacked next week. So by logic, you would have gotten smacked even harder if you'd won.
Yeah.
Just saying. But yeah, honestly, my thing with Juju, who cares that he's dancing on logos in pregame?
There are some teams who just compare it to the Terrell Owens thing when he was facing the Cowboys when he was part of the Niners in the early 2000s, where it's just a sign of disrespect. But also,
yeah, I mean, it's it's like, I don't know. I think you should have kept doing it. I don't care. Let people have fun.
Mhm.
Let the
And
kids play.
you know what? Juju Smith-Schuster's actually a good enough receiver that he can back it up if defenders want to have a problem with it. So,
Mhm.
it's
Okay.
not like he's some third string guy
Yeah.
flexing too hard. He can actually back it up with his play. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was fine.
Mhm.
I did think, some of the comments they made about the Browns were
Yeah.
stupid.
Did you know that neither Chase Claypool nor Juju Smith-Schuster were the team's leading receiver?
I didn't.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
The amount of Steelers football I watched this year was minimal. I'll put it that way.
The amount of football I watched this year is
It's
admittedly
minimal.
I like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those of the people who have watched the first two episodes of this podcast and are now watching this, I'm sure, are noticing that the level of discussion is slightly less intellectual.
I think that's fine because we're going into Super Bowl bets.
Yeah.
And, we're following a lot of football.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, we're going to put the disclaimer: we don't watch a lot of football.
I think the disclaimer
Yeah.
should have been in episode 1.
All right. I think we've covered Steelers Browns.
Yeah.
So we should probably move on to a story that I think we might actually be able to talk about with some level of intelligence, and that is the trade between the Lions and the Rams that sent Matt Stafford to LA and Jared Goff plus a handful of picks back to the Detroit Lions.
Yep. Including 2 future first-round picks and
Yep.
I believe an extra third rounder.
Which if
sounds
I'm
a lot.
correct, yeah, it does sound like a lot. And if I'm correct, means that the last time the Rams had a first round pick was when they picked Jared Goff.
That they traded for.
Yeah.
When was Jared Goff drafted?
No, he wasn't traded for. That was Wentz pick was traded for. Or they were both traded for.
No, they traded to get the pick.
Right.
Jared Goff was drafted
2016.
in 2016. Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. The Rams already traded their quarterback that took him to the Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Yeah. It wasn't the 21 first round pick that was traded. It was the 22 and 23 first round picks. I don't know if they actually have their 21 first round picks.
I was going to say, I can't remember if they have a 21 first round pick. But yeah, the Rams apparently don't super care about having first round picks because they keep trading them.
Oh, no, they already didn't have their first round pick. It belongs to the Jaguars, and I believe that's from the Dante Fowler Jr. trade of two mid-season, two mid-seasons ago.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, the Rams have been trading away a lot of first round picks, which doesn't seem okay. I don't know how the Detroit Lions managed to get Jared Goff and picks back from the Rams for a 32-year-old mediocre quarterback.
I'm not even convinced they did it to get Goff. I don't even know if they actually think Goff is going to be anything close to a long-term guy.
Yeah, but I'm just amazed that that's the return package they got for Stafford.
Yeah.
Because, it's...
I mean, this is what you're going to get out of Stafford. You're going to get, at least every year since 2011, he's played 6, except for 2 years ago, the 19 season, he played all 16 games. He's consistently going to be a 4,000-yard passer. In a McVay system, you're going to expect 25 plus touchdowns and at least improved compared to his earlier part of his career, improved composure in the pocket.
You would think,
I think he has more arm versatility than Goff, and I don't think the fact that he's older matters.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's concerning to me, obviously, because he's a 32-year-old quarterback, and obviously, right, quarterback wins are a dumb stat because it relies so much on the team around you. But he's a below 500 quarterback for what that's worth.
Yeah,
which is not
0-3 in the playoffs as well.
I mean, he's never had a team around him. He's been
exactly
on a bad team forever. He's always been a name brand quarterback.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that he will blossom and enjoy some success in LA this year or next year.
Yeah,
I'm actually partially happy for Matthew Stafford. I think this is good for him.
I think it's a great trade for him.
And the Lions aren't getting a terrible quarterback. They're getting Goff, and they're getting a bunch of first-round picks.
Yeah, no, I think
so this allows them to rebuild a little bit.
I think both teams got what they wanted, but I don't know if the Rams. I think the Rams are still a playoff team. And I think they have reasons to be more confident than Goff.
That's interesting.
But I just don't think that you are changing the team from being a fringe division winner to anything more than a fringe division winner.
Yeah, it's the thing with I think the Rams have the most to lose with this trade. I think
they have all to lose.
I think they are at the most risk of looking like morons if Stafford doesn't pan out. Because then you've thrown away picks and a younger quarterback who isn't terrible. Jared Goff is by no means a bad quarterback. You've given away all of that for potentially no upgrade, which is a really risky trade. But I guess I wouldn't make the trade, but I guess that's why I'm not an NFL GM.
Yeah.
So.
Well, even if the Rams suck, there's always the Chargers for all you bandwagon LA football fans. You can just go from one team to the other.
And I mean, maybe this is just me not thinking about much, but do you think we've seen Jared Goff's peak because now he's leaving McVay?
I think
because I think each year since that 2018 season, he's gotten worse.
I think McVay's system flatters quarterbacks. I really do.
So that means we should see an elevated Stafford.
If I'm right, it would suggest that Stafford would see a better year from Stafford or next year, and by comparison, a decline from Jared Goff in Detroit.
Yeah.
If McVay's plans go according to plan, then theoretically Stafford should blossom in LA. But I mean, that's an if. He's still 32. He hasn't been to a Super Bowl.
No, the Lions have never been to a Super Bowl ever.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford is a career 0-3 in the playoffs.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, and here's the thing.
I think I think Goff only has 1 year left on his contract.
Oh yeah, so I mean,
he
could not be long for Detroit, but
he could be a 1 year stopgap for a future quarterback. I don't know many 22 class quarterbacks, but I know one off the top of my head I think could fit the mold is Keaton Slovis of USC.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I think
Also,
I wonder
Sam Howell of North Carolina.
Yeah, I do wonder. I will say I do wonder. Talk about Stafford's age a little bit more. I do wonder if the success that Brady and Breeze and Aaron Rodgers have been having in their late 30s is giving people this notion that quarterbacks can play longer. I mean, I don't think.
Yeah, they set the bar real high.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just want to get one thing straight. I don't think many quarterbacks, Matt Stafford or otherwise, can play into their 40s, let alone play the way that Tom Brady has into their 40s. But it does make me wonder if GMs are seeing GMs and coaches are seeing these old guys keep playing well and thinking maybe we can stretch our quarterbacks a little bit longer.
I think it just depends. I mean, you got the offensive line to protect you. It's like the way you play. Are you mobile? I wouldn't classify Stafford as a mobile quarterback.
Not a big runner. So, neither is Brady, Breeze, or Rodgers.
Yeah. So you have at least the inclination that, I mean, granted, I thought Stafford was older than 32. But that's not him. That's not me saying he looks like he's older than he is out on the field. I just thought he was older than 32.
He is one of those guys who seems like he's been around the league for a while, because he's been there since 2009.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
First overall pick, same as Goff.
Yeah. I guess we're really just in a golden age of quarterbacks right now between Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees.
Mhm.
Patrick Mahomes on the rise seems to be kind of like carrying the torch for the next great generation of quarterbacks.
And John Elway as a GM.
I was gonna say, well, I mean,
Yeah,
I think
that is true.
everyone.
A
Hold on,
bad
hold
GM.
on. I want to
Sorry.
say something about this golden age of quarterbacks thing. You realize, like, there's never going to be an age where all 32 teams have terrible quarterbacks, right? And if you think about it, right, if you start at let's just start at Joe Montana,
Mhm.
right? You're going to have at least one brilliant quarterback in the league every year since then, because Montana goes to Young, goes to Elway,
You
goes to
can
Favre,
Manning.
and by the farm, and Brett Favre's still playing when Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and I think even Ben Roethlisberger
Yeah.
are
You
getting
That's
into
a
the
good
league and
that
carrying it
conversation.
up.
you have early Breeze in New Orleans. So
Yeah.
I think Breeze won his Super Bowl when Favre was in Minnesota. I'm pretty sure
Yep,
that
he
was the
did.
NFC Championship game matchup.
Yep.
And yeah. So like I'm not I mean, I don't think the Rams today with their roster could win a Super Bowl.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't know what they're gonna do because I think it's kind of been proven you win with like homegrown talent.
Yeah.
I think you win through the draft. I think that's something the Packers always did. That's why they're always in contention because they focused on scouting in the draft so well.
Yep.
It always seems like players just get cut every offseason in a multitude. And also, I don't even know how long is Stafford on his deal.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's really like you
age,
said
how
with
many years he's
scouting.
got left.
Yeah, like what you said with scouting, really all comes down to like a numbers game. So
Yeah.
Which is why at the end of the day you can make an argument that the Lions won that trade because they're getting what 3 first-round picks in addition to Jared Goff.
It's
Staff-
two.
yeah.
I think it's 2 firsts
Two
and a
first
second.
and a third.
Okay.
2 firsts and a third. Okay.
And also, Stafford has 2 years left on his deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't
At
be honestly.
a pretty not cheap rate.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if LA, gave him a trial run for 2 years, and if they didn't like him, just didn't re-sign him.
Yeah, but if they don't re-sign him, they're going to go into rebuild.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
they're
I
literally
think
just-
McVay goes if Stafford isn't the answer.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see McVay getting. I don't know. I think it would be smart if you're the Rams and Stafford isn't the answer to leave McVay there to let him rebuild.
Yeah, but you're gonna just give him the protege QB, or
But
do you
you're gonna
start
have to.
over?
You're gonna have to tell him. It's like you have to rebuild. You can't try and win out. I've never really liked this. Bringing in. I don't like ditching coaches super quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it only leads to more turnover. But it would make sense. I guess the one time where it would make sense to bring in a new guy is if you're tearing everything down anyway. So
Yeah. So when I'm just thinking of offensive SRS is a football stat that like it takes team offense and it rates you 0 as average and it goes up. So his first 2 years, he was 8.2 and 9.5, which are considered high level. And then 19, he was 2.2, and then 2020, he was 0.8. But this was the best year of his defense, and that's probably why they're in the playoffs because the defense was doing so well.
yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how this deal plays out.
Mhm.
It's obviously one of these big blockbuster deals, so we had to talk about it. But I don't know. I think we've covered it.
Time
Yeah.
will tell. See who won this trade.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those trades where there's no obvious winner loser right away. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
I say we'll see how it plays out. We might see how it plays out depending on how much football we watch.
We'll find
Watch as
out.
Matthew
We'll find
Stafford's
out to
there for
see
like
if
1 year.
we'll find out 2 things. 1, did Matt Stafford make a Super Bowl? And 2, is Sean McVay a Rams coach?
Yeah, exactly. All
Well,
right,
now
I
we'll
think
see
that's
if the
probably.
Lions take Sam Howell first overall in 2022.
All right, I think that's probably time for us to actually start talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Our
about time we got
Super
around
Bowl-
to that.
Our
Yeah.
Super Bowl special. So
Super Bowl special.
yeah, of course, it being us who don't watch a lot of football, we're going to talk about the Super Bowl by making predictions on prop bets. So we're going to take a
Yeah.
minute for Farron to get that set up, and
Yeah.
and then we're going to be coming back and talking about some gambling.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, so Ryan has got his stuff all set up, and he's gonna lead us through the most important thing about the Super Bowl, which is betting on things that don't matter. So it is
Unless
time.
you have money invested in it.
It is time
would you?
for some Super Bowl prop bets. Ryan will lead us through some of this year's bets, and we're gonna make some completely educated, and by completely educated, I mean complete guesses at
Mhm.
picking them.
Yeah.
Someone writing this down?
So
Write down our bets.
I just want to ask because I don't think y'all know the answer to this. Do you all even know who's performing the national anthem?
I have no clue.
I swear to God, if it's Lady Gaga.
It is not. It is a duet of Jasmine Sullivan and Eric Church.
I know one of those names.
Eric
Same.
Church, I'm assuming.
I was gonna let the comment section guess, but yes, that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Jasmine Sullivan is an R&B artist, and that is all I can say because I can't name any of her music. And then Eric Church is Eric Church.
Is Eric Church.
Yep.
Yep.
Eric
cool.
might say he has a really good name.
I might. I won't though, because this is being broadcast on the internet.
And you want to look like a nice person.
Sure.
YouTube will hate you.
All right.
Okay. How long do you think it's going to be? Is it going to be longer or shorter than 1 minute and 46 seconds?
What are the odds?
Even.
Even.
Or
Minute and 40
It
seconds.
is that's
Minute,
the
40 seconds
average.
for what?
It's the average time of the national anthem in the Super Bowl.
Oh, gotcha.
Longer, obviously.
It's got to be longer. It's a Super Bowl. You really
Yeah.
got to stretch out
No,
those words.
Those
but I'm saying-
anthems
no,
are
I'm saying
always
I'm
longer.
saying that's the average of the anthem in a Super Bowl.
Oh, that's the average of Super Bowl anthem. Ooh.
How long was Fergie's national anthem at the All-Star game? Do y'all know the number off the top of your head?
Too long.
Yeah, that. I will take the under on the minute and 40 seconds. Actually,
I was also going to take the under. I think country and R&B duet would think not have as much as long as a high note.
I actually think that's because it's a duet. There's no like, you can't both showboat at the same time.
Unless they do it at the same time.
Yeah, well, I'm taking the under.
I'm
gonna take
going
the under.
over.
Okay. Next.
Going over.
At minus 105. Coin toss, heads or tails?
Tails prevails, baby.
Heads.
Here's my answer. Is it going to be heads or tails, or is it going to be Chiefs logo, Bucks logo? Like they do in college.
No, it'll be they always have like, don't they always have like the NFL shield on one side that's heads, and then the stadium that it's being played in is tails?
I guess so.
I think
Then
that's how they normally do it.
I'll say tails. What word will be mentioned first in the broadcast? COVID at minus 500 or pandemic at plus 300?
Ooh. See, the thing is, I want to be daring and take the underdog pick of pandemic, but the problem is, if you say the COVID-19 pandemic, you've already said COVID before you say pandemic.
Yeah.
I think the smart money's on COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm
probably.
going to be stupid and say pandemic.
Unless they say the pandemic of COVID-19.
I think that's only you who classifies it as that.
I was going to say, I think that's the thing only you say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the Super Bowl is full of surprises. You never know.
Yep.
I'm going to look like a genius. You heard it here first on the Kickball podcast, ladies and gentlemen. The pandemic of COVID-19.
All 10 people who have listened to this podcast have found out that Henry Jones is a genius.
Important predictions here on the Kickball podcast.
His Twitter link will be in the bio below.
Oh my gosh.
Now this one is interesting because there is a caveat. How many times will Bill Belichick's name be mentioned? More than once is minus 175. Less than once is plus 135. Once is null and your money is back.
It's got to be more. I mean, Brady's in the
Once
Super
is the
Bowl.
You know, I bet Super Bowl still have they have the halftime analysis, right? Yeah, of course they do.
This is game only.
Game only. I mean, yeah, I'd still say more than once. Tom Brady's involved. Hasn't that been a whole narrative where it's like, oh, if Tom Brady wins, then it's like everyone's gonna be like, oh, maybe it wasn't actually, maybe Belichick's not actually that good. Maybe it was just Brady.
It might be. That being said, do you think Brady's going to win and then actually allow the name to happen?
No clue.
I'm going to go more than once.
I will also go more than once.
More than once.
How many commercials will have a dog in it?
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Over
no.
4.5 is minus 250. Under 4.5 is plus 170.
You know, the dog commercial is always the go-to depressing commercial during the Super Bowl, but there have been
No, that's
obviously a
just the
lot more.
Budweiser commercial.
There's
That's
obviously
also
been a lot more depressing subject matter in the past couple of months, obviously. So I feel like they're gonna shift gears to other things. So I'm gonna go under.
I'm trying to think of the brands that normally have dogs in their commercials. Budweiser's a
Bush's
strong.
baked beans.
Bush's baked beans is if they have a Super Bowl ad, it will probably have a dog. Budweiser's a strong candidate to have a dog in their ad.
I would say for every 3 beer commercials, there should be 2 dogs.
Subaru would have a dog in their commercial. So it's sort of like you got to think of all the companies that advertise with dogs, and then you're doing the math of, are they going to advertise in the Super Bowl?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the under.
I'm going to take.
5.
I think all 3 of us are taking the under.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's. It might be 4. It might be 4, but I don't think it's going to be over the 4.5.
I'm going to warn. I haven't actually read these ahead of time, and this one made me laugh.
Oh gosh.
Because you'll have to understand why this is being asked. Which coach will have their nostrils seen first during the game? Andy Reid or Bruce Arians?
Oh man.
God, it's gotta be Andy
For
Reid.
anyone watching this more than a year down the line, masks, nostrils.
Well, Andy Reid, hold on. Doesn't Andy Reid normally wear that like plastic face shield instead?
Here's the thing, he's plus 150. Bruce Arians is minus 250.
I haven't watched any Tampa Bay Buccaneers games to know what Bruce Arians wears on his face.
Yeah.
I'm taking Andy Reid. I'm taking Andy Reid and that plastic face shield.
His face is just so like iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I think it's going to come down to whichever coach wins the kickoff, I guess whichever team's offense is on the field first, because it's going to be a 3rd down, and they're going to show that coach shot with the play card, and nostrils are going to be in that shot. You just know.
So then I would go Arians. I think Brady would want to go first on offense.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sticking with Andy Reid.
Okay. How many times will Gisele Bundchen be shown during the game? 1.5 over is minus 250. Under 1.5 is plus 170.
Gisele who?
That's
Tom Brady's wife.
Oh.
I'm gonna take the under, and I'll tell you why. I think you get one shot of the family during the game, and the next time they would show family is during celebration, which is technically after the game. Not to be that guy, but
I think I already know your prediction for who's going to win the game.
Also, yeah, it doesn't
that
say
says
during
nothing
the game or not.
That says nothing about who's going to win the game.
Well, the family would come on the field if the Buccaneers won.
Yeah, I'm saying that it doesn't matter. I'm saying you have to take the under on this because they're not going to show the family more than one time during the game. The next time that they would show the family would be after the game during the celebration. So I'm saying the under's the smart choice.
I'm going over.
The next
expect
me to apply logic to prop bets, huh, audience?
The next one is, what is the primary color of Patrick Mahomes' headband? Red, black, gray, or white? Red minus 400, black plus 210, gray plus 600, white plus 600.
Doesn't he normally wear white though?
If this matters, the Chiefs are wearing their red jersey in the game.
But doesn't he normally wear the white headband anyway?
Well, according to Vegas,
tripping?
No.
I'm literally Googling images of Patrick Mahomes now.
It's a mix of black, white, and red. it's a flat out mix.
It's a
There is no
pretty big
correlation
mix.
to what he wears on the field.
You know,
and
the
what
funny
it looks-
thing is, I said, doesn't he normally wear white? And most of the images I'm looking at are either red or black.
And the only one I've seen him wear white is with white jersey. So I'm gonna eliminate that one.
Yeah, that's
I'm
probably.
gonna go.
I didn't see a single picture of him with a gray headband, so I would also
Yeah.
eliminate that.
I'm gonna go with black because he wore that the last Super Bowl.
Interesting, and they
And
did
that-
win.
Yes, that is true.
I will follow your black headband is good luck charm logic. I will also say black.
I'm gonna go white here.
All right.
All right then.
Just I don't know the color scheme with the red shirt.
All right,
white headband. I
It
don't know.
looks nice, but it's
It does
also
look
his
nice.
decision.
It does look good.
We're gonna go with what is the longest completion for either quarterback? Is it over or under 39.5 yards?
I'll say over. I mean, Mahomes to Tyreek Hill that's danger man right there. That's
Mhm.
the threat of going the whole field there. So I'll take the over.
Mhm.
I'll go over as well.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be a very offensive heavy game.
I think I'm gonna go over 2, mostly because I think that's what I want.
Right? It would be more fun if there's.
I like fun. It makes me watch the game more.
It would be, it'd be even better if there were multiple 40-yard completions. That would be really fun.
First pass of the game, 80 yards. And then who will be the first player to make a reception?
Oh boy.
Do you want the player odds listed?
Nah.
Because it doesn't make your decision any easier.
I was gonna say it's not going to help me, and I also want to test Henry's knowledge of the rosters.
No.
So I mean, this is a tough one because like you're trying to figure out who's going to win who's going to get the ball first,
Mhm.
and then
Y'all might not like my answer. I'm gonna go Antonio Brown.
I was going to say because your answer is Antonio Brown.
I think the Bucks are gonna get the ball first. I'm trying to stay consistent with everything I said in the last 10 minutes.
Right.
And I think short pass is going to be the way to go. And I think that means Antonio Brown.
Yeah. You know what? I agree with you that I think Brady would want to go first on offense.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Sorry, some background noise here.
I didn't even hear it.
Okay.
Trying to think who we'd want to throw to first pass. Well, for one, I think the first play is going to be a run play, but
Because remember, a team could go 3 and out.
What
with
about
no completions?
What about Leonard Fournette?
you
could
think
get
they set up a little screen,
a little dump off to the
little
running
dump
back?
off to the running back?
Yeah.
Is it? But here's
I
the
don't
thing:
think of Leonard Fournette as really a receiving running back. I don't know. I'm gonna say Chris Godwin, and we can move on.
Henry, do you want to name one receiver on either team?
Tyreek Hill.
Okay, that's your answer. He actually has the highest odds. So
Okay. You can't go wrong. But
yeah.
well, maybe you could, but odds are in my favor, I guess.
And then what color is the Gatorade?
Red.
Red has to have the best odds, right?
Red's on both teams.
The one with the highest odds is orange.
Really?
That's because it's Gatorade colored.
Red is second, and then lime, green, yellow is kind of the mix called together. You've got clear / it's water in the fourth one, blue, and then purple. And I'm gonna go red because both teams wear red.
Do you think red is probably the smart choice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How many times will Roger Goodell be shown?
Too many.
It's over under 1.5. And this
Too
is
many.
also game time. So the trophy handoff does not count.
Roger Goodell. Yeah, you probably get one shot of him in the box, right?
The end of game celebration doesn't
Now
count.
the question is,
No,
no,
of course
it's
it doesn't
game time only.
Okay.
Which then means, does he get a second one? Does he
No,
deserve the second one? No.
barely deserves the first.
Mhm.
No, I mean, I'm gonna stick with the same logic as the family thing. It's like you get one shot of them during the game, and then you move on to other people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here's one back to the anthem. Will any scoring drive take less time than it takes the anthem to be sung?
So that's
So,
like a minute
frankly,
40 to 2 minute scoring drive.
yes.
These are explosive teams. I could see it happening.
Yes is minus 260. No is plus 175.
Well, I mean, a pick six would do it.
That does not count. It has
Oh, it
to
doesn't
be
count.
a drive.
Drive.
You could go pick six into field goal territory, 3-and-out field goal. You do it in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, true. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, it's like I know the Chiefs are explosive, but I don't think the Bucks would lose. You would think the Bucks wouldn't lose their receivers that easily.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say no, honestly.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say yes.
No.
Will there be a safety?
No.
Minus 1400. Yes is plus 700.
Probably not.
No, you've got two, pretty solid offensive lines, two quarterbacks two aware quarterbacks. Don't really think they're going to get in too much trouble backed up into their in their own end zone.
Yeah.
How many more prop bets we got?
We got two more.
All right.
How many songs we played during the weekend's Super Bowl 55 halftime show? Over under is 8.
8? Under.
That's plus 155.
What?
I can't name 8 weekend songs.
I was gonna say I can't either.
I can hum it.
But also remember, there could be guests.
True, but even then, I'm trying to think back to last year's Super Bowl halftime show. I don't think they managed 8.
It was
Who did it last year?
Shakira and J-Lo.
Oh, that
How
was
did
a
I
great
forget that?
halftime show.
But I think they managed only 5. I think they got like 5 or 6 songs. I'm saying under.
Yeah.
Easy.
I'm going to say under
they're-
for also, but my reason is going to be very logical based on how you did one earlier. We're in a pandemic, which makes me think teardown and setup is going to be really difficult unless they do it virtually. Which I don't think they will because there's fans.
Yeah,
Are they
right.
even
There
gonna
are
let,
there
like,
are going to be
people
fans
onto
because
So
it's
I
in
field
Tampa.
for that?
Well, no. They're going to let the fans stay in the stadium. But like, I also just don't. I don't think guest appearances are going to be as frequent. So I think it's going to be a shorter halftime show of full length songs.
Yeah, I think the under hits pretty easily on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be under. Last year's was
And-
pretty
yeah.
to the point.
Mm-hmm. And then here comes the main one. Plus 1,000. Will there be a wardrobe malfunction
With the no.
with anybody?
With the,
It could be like wearing a cape and it gets caught to a nail. That's a wardrobe malfunction. That's plus 1,000. No is minus 5,000.
I still say no.
What,
Like,
they're expecting Janet Jackson 2.0?
I don't know.
like
There's also like different odds on will there be X person in the halftime show.
oh man, we don't have time for that.
Names
I'll tell you
include
that.
names you may or may not know. Bella Hadid, I believe that's his girlfriend. Ariana Grande, Doja Cat, Drake, Kenny G. Yes, Kenny G. And I hope Kenny G's on stage.
I will say very quickly, if I was putting money on that bet, I would pick Doja Cat
Yeah.
out of all of those.
Mhm. Are they in a
But
song together? This is me being stupid, not knowing music.
she's on the In Your Eyes remix.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So if that wraps up the prop bets, I think that leaves us with just one more little bit of business.
Who's gonna win?
Bowl
Which
question.
is, yeah, that whole thing is who's going to win.
I'm gonna go Bucks.
Bucks.
Chiefs.
I'm gonna say my score is.
I do legitimately believe in the Chiefs. I really do.
I'm gonna go 34-26 Bucks. My reasoning is I think being at home is gonna be a slight deal because the teams don't get that week-long time to stay at the
Right.
site. It's being treated as if it's essentially a road game for
Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with that. I think, yeah, and I trust that Brady's gonna get it done. I feel like this entire season's probably just been rigged to begin to start anyway. And
No, don't say that. People are gonna take it seriously.
Who says I'm not?
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna rest my case. 34-26.
Yeah, home field advantage will
Bucks.
help. Not as much as in like a quote unquote normal year. It's not gonna be like a packed house. I don't know how many fans they're realistically going to let in.
I think it's like a third capacity, which is like 15,000.
Yeah. So I'd probably say like 42-30 Bucks win.
That's a heavy.
Wow, I'm expecting a way closer game than that. I was gonna say I will say
No, 42-36. There. Yeah.
I will say I'm gonna say I'm thinking both teams will score in the 30s. I'm gonna say 38-34 Chiefs to win.
If I should have said this beforehand, the Chiefs are favored by 3 and the over-under is 56.5.
I think it's going to be a situation.
Which means they don't think either. Which means they think one team won't hit 30.
Yep. I think they're wrong. But yeah, I think the Chiefs' offense is just going to be too explosive for Brady and the Bucks to keep up with.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how wrong we are.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see how we manage to all get every single prediction we've made wrong.
I can't wait for Rob Gronkowski to make the first catch. I can't wait for the anthem to be less than a minute. I can't wait
for the Gatorade to be
for
purple.
a gray headband on Patrick Mahomes.
I can't wait for
Bill Belichick to be at the game. I can't wait for no nostrils to be shown, and I can't wait for clear water to be poured onto the field after the Bucks win.
I personally
win at my luck.
I can't wait for them to say the pandemic of COVID-19.
They will not say that.
If they do, we have to make an episode just saying that Henry is right and then upload that immediately.
If they say the pandemic of COVID-19, Ryan and I will record a video of us admitting that Henry was right and upload it to the channel. But that's not going to happen, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And then the episode will be us talking about the Super Bowl and seeing what we thought of it and how wrong we were.
Exactly. We'll also talk about some of the other stories that we ignored from January because we decided to talk about football this episode. Yeah. So thank you very much for watching. Ryan, do you want to say something before I say?
No, I was going to say, should we say Super Bowl MVP predictions, or are y'all just going to assume it's either Brady or Mahomes?
It's probably either Brady or Mahomes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you've put up with our shenanigans this long, thank you very much for sticking with us, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Adios. See ya.